The Kindle Scribe Colorsoft is finally in the UK, and guess what? We've got one. Okay, welcome to the channel. My name is Ben. In this video we're checking out the Kindle Scribe Colorsoft. As I mentioned at the beginning now, I've been waiting for this for a while to come to the UK. I think it got released around November time in the US, but it's in the UK market now. I did order it a few days ago. There was some complication with my order, but it's come today, Sunday. We've got our hands on it and we're going to review it in this video. Okay, so previously on the channel I've reviewed this, the original Kindle Scribe. I think it's a 2022 version, I believe. I did get another one as well, which is kind of an upgrade. It was the 2025 one, I think it was, which changed the design a little bit. There was a new colour, but I stuck with this one. I sent that one back because there was no real improvement. It wasn't a colour one, it was just a change of the hardware. So yeah, there was no real improvement on this one, so I kept my hands on this one and waited for the Colorsoft to be released. And here we are with the Colorsoft. So in this video, we're going to unbox this, a Kindle Scribe Colorsoft. We'll compare it to the original one. I'll get things set up. We'll do a really early first impressions view on it, and then I will do a follow-up video at some point, just my kind of initial thoughts, how it's gone the first few weeks, and a little bit of summary more in detail further down the line. So first of all, let's get inside the box, check out the new product. Really excited about this, get my hands on it, get it switched on, and see what the colour capabilities are built into the actual Kindle Scribe Colorsoft. So let's do it, let's unbox and see what the hardware's like. Okay, out of the box, there we go. As you can see immediately, the bezel, totally different. We've got the even bezel all the way around the outside. I will get some close-up shots of this, so don't worry about that. I'll get some close-ups of comparing them, the front, the back, the size, the thickness, etc, etc. In the hand, I would say it feels lighter. I don't know the actual specs actually, but it definitely feels a little bit lighter. Obviously holding around the edges still is a bezel around there, so you can still grab hold of it with your thumbs. What I did like about the original Scribe was that thicker bezel down the side, because you really got hold of it, especially when reading. It was really good. If you were holding it for a long period of time, you can move your thumb around quite a bit on the side. And also for writing, I didn't tend to used to write and hold it. I did used to lay that flat to write with it. But definitely for reading, it is good as a kind of grip. Hopefully the bezel on that won't be too problematic. There's still a fair chunky, probably 12 to 13 mil bezel, including the actual frame of the device, all the way around there. I'm not sure if you're picking that up on screen, but you can see a little bit of colour in that as well. So just to confirm a couple of bits, as I mentioned, Kindle Scribe Colorsoft, it's a 64GB version, and it's the graphite. I've got the graphite colour, which is pretty much very similar to that. It's a slightly different tone, I would say. It is obviously newer, but we've got the Kindle logo on the back, if you can just quite catch that on the back there. Other things in the box, we've got the white pen. So previously we had the black pen, or the graphite pen. Let me just get that out to compare. So they're very similar. The white one is shorter. It feels potentially the exact same weight. I can't really tell much difference in there. There's more of a rubberized end, which I think the previous Kindle I've reviewed came with a rubberized end, which is more of a natural kind of rubbing out texture, you would say. But there's not much difference in terms of the hardware physically. Definitely a little bit shorter, and obviously it's white. What it doesn't have is the Kindle, the original one I had, it's got like a flat edge to it, so it would lay flat and not move. That hasn't, but it looks like it's got a kind of self-centering point to it maybe, so it will just lay flat naturally on the table. Also in the box, we've got some spare nibs and a nib remover, which is great. They are white nibs, so we've got spare 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white nibs spare. We've also got a USB-C to USB-C braided charge cable. Obviously we will need to charge this up at some point. And included user manual just to confirm how to get started. So what I'll do now, I'll get some close-up side-by-side footage of these two just so you can see the difference in them. Obviously immediately it's definitely taller. We've definitely got a much taller screen. Not much wider as such, but the screen itself is wider and the screen itself is taller. So the screen real estate is naturally going to be bigger, obviously. The device is a little bit bigger, and the most noticeable and obviously quite outstanding or difference is the actual bezel. Got a similar bezel bottom, top and right hand side. It's just that thicker bezel, to the left that we've lost on here. But we'll see how we get on with that. I don't think it'll be a problem. As I mentioned, that is really good for reading, not necessarily writing. So I'll stop talking for a bit now. We'll get some close-ups, and then we'll get this set up with the application on my mobile phone into the Amazon ecosystem and get things ready to use. Okay, if you see a white light kind of on my eye, it's the new Look Tech AI glasses I'm wearing. I'm recording on them as well at the same time, so apologies if that's distracting, but let's crack on with this. So, I've not done anything yet. There is a power button at the top there. I'm going to press that once. You see the kind of screen lighting up there. So we've got the colours showing through. Obviously this is still E-Ink, so the colours wise, it's still that E-Ink technology, so we'll see what the actual impact is in terms of the colours coming through the screen. I've not experienced it before on any other product, so we'll see what it's like on the Kindle Scribe. So we'll step through the basic settings. We've got a language setting on there, United Kingdom, next. And I'm thinking I might need to use my Amazon application on mobile phone to get things going, but we'll see. Things are just loading up currently, so we'll just give it a moment to load up. Okay, so we're installed now on a new version of software, auto connected to the Wi-Fi, which is great, or not so great maybe, but we're connected and we are working. So on the screen now it says, experience the paper-like clarity of Kindle. Your Kindle uses a special type of screen that's designed to look and feel like your paper. You may notice the screen refresh occasionally. This helps keep everything crisp and clear as you read. So we're going to go through this now and through the process. I'm going to create a passcode for my screen. Okay, so we are in and I've got colour on the actual screen. Let me try and get a close-up on that camera of that. I will get some close-ups on my other camera as well, sorry. But you can see that's loaded up now. I'm going to just check what it's actually brought in. So I've got the workspace where I've got all my notes. Yes, it's also brought all my work notes through, which is brilliant. So I've got all my work notes included in there. And for the first time, they've got colour on them. So hopefully I'll be able to choose different colours for different notebook types or different notes, for example. So I've got my work notes, my personal notes, development notes, all kinds of stuff in there, which is great. Huson DIY ones in there. So that's great that I've got all my notes brought through automatically, as you kind of expect. From a library perspective, I should be seeing my books that I've got as well. Yep, books that are obviously bought from Kindle and ones that I've been reading recently. And you can see there, let me try and get close with that. We've got colour on the actual books for the first time. So obviously usually they're just black and white. There is a little bit of colour. It's not like really saturated colour as you'd expect for an E-Ink display, but there's definitely colour there. You can make out which book's which, and we can see some great colour included now. So I think in this first video, I'm not going to do much more. I'll get some close-ups now of this. I'll probably just do a little bit of testing now just of the handwriting, just how it writes, and just confirm that in this video. I'm going to use it tomorrow at work. So it's Sunday tonight, I'm at work tomorrow on the Monday. I'll use it through the Monday tomorrow, and I'll probably finish the video up tomorrow just to confirm my kind of first usage for a day. I want to do at least a day using it. And I do make notes on my Kindle Scribe all day. I have a note page for every single day. I can navigate and come back to my notes that I made previously as well. So I'll leave it there for now. I'll get a few close-ups of the actual colour we're seeing on the screen so you can kind of hopefully get a realistic view of what that looks like. As I mentioned, it's not kind of really popping like saturated colour, but there's definitely colour, different shades, obviously different shades of the actual book covers just there. So you can definitely see the colour. It's definitely working at least anyway, but we'll see what we can see going forward. So back soon with some footage and that one day of use tomorrow at work. Okay, it's Monday evening, I'm back from work. I didn't mention actually on the first part of the video, I've got this kind of case that I got for the original one. I did have an official Amazon one to start with on the Amazon Scribe, but it got worn down, it started breaking. I think the elastic strap over it, I think, broke. So this is a third-party case. It's just more of a kind of holder rather than an actual case that goes around the actual device. But I find it really useful. I'll keep that in my bag. The pen can go in it there as well, just on a little elastic strap there as well. So I tend to use this to store it while I'm not using it and also carry it with me from work and home. Works really well for me, and kind of get it out and leave it on my desk and then carry it around meetings, etc., just like that. And then the pen itself is the same on the other Scribe, but it's the same on this one. There's a magnetisation to the side of it. It's pretty strong. It would come, if you flicked it hard enough, it would come off, but it is strong. That feels stronger than the original Scribe actually, but it does magnetise on that side. Does it magnetise anywhere else? No, so just on that right hand side, magnetisers there. So just a couple of things there. That case, I will link to it if I can find it again. Been really useful for me, I really liked it. It's a little bit worn now, but it's lasted pretty well, to be fair. It's looking pretty good. So, first impressions, first day use of the actual Kindle Scribe. I'm going to go through that now. just some initial thoughts, nothing too in-depth. I do need to use it for longer to get a better idea of how it's been, more in-depth, more kind of day-to-day, week-to-week, probably maybe 6 weeks, I think, or at least a month anyway, just to get a real good kind of feel for the device, whether it is worth the extra money for the colour element to it. But first impressions on the colour, really, really good. What I have really liked about it immediately is the highlighter function. So there's a key or a button on the actual pen you can kind of program to what you want it to do on the actual device itself. I have it set to highlighter. I had it set to highlighter on my old Kindle as well, just to highlight items that were done or to kind of target them in terms of being able to see them on the page. It's kind of highlighted them. So the highlighter function on this is now colour, so you can colour code with a highlighter, kind of red, green, yellow. So you can mark things obviously different colours depending on the status, for example, or highlight based on what you need to highlight on your page of notes, for example. But that immediately has been really, really good. Highlighting, but now with colour, which seems really basic, but using colour to be able to highlight for different purposes is kind of what you would naturally do when writing normal notes and highlighting. So I found that really, really useful, first of all. So in terms of the actual writing function and writing feel on the screen, it is definitely different to the other original Kindle Scribe. When I say that, I would say it's no worse, but is it any better? Maybe not. So what the difference is that kind of scratchiness on the screen. That sounds really ridiculous saying that, but that was kind of the feel you got from actually feel like writing on paper or card or actual natural writing with a notebook, for example. This is probably a little less realistic in terms of that real writing feel on paper, I would say. In terms of writing though, it's definitely better, much better than writing on a tablet, for example. It is much closer to that, but it's just one step down from that kind of real kind of feel, I would say, in terms of writing on paper or card or whatever you're writing your notes on, for example. The actual writing function is exactly the same. So on the actual panel, you've got the exact same function in terms of the pen, highlighter, rubber. You've got different thicknesses of the pen, for example, as well. But obviously, the main thing is colour. So different colours of writing, highlighting, for example, is a major, major benefit, I think, in terms of just being able to circle things in a colour so it stands out. So if you do flip back through your notes, which I do all the time, I'm going back from my notes to check on things. I did struggle before in terms of making sure I kind of knew what I was looking for, and that's why I used to use the highlighter just to highlight an actual area of the page. Now with the highlighter and the colour of the actually circling things or just putting a line under things, it seems really, really basic, but it's really, really making a difference for me. Just being able to put different lines and highlight different colours, just different text, just on the page. And I will get some close-ups of this just to show you. But yeah. Fundamentally, it's not that different in terms of what you can do in terms of writing, but the function of adding colour is a massive benefit for me anyway with the way I use my Kindle Scribe. Okay, so on here there are two colour modes. There's standard and then there is a vivid mode. So what I want to do just to kind of hopefully try and demonstrate this to you, I'm just going to put some highlighter down the page, which we'll get some close-ups of as well. Just some highlighter lines down the page, green, orange, and we'll go with a pink. So we'll just go with pink down the page there. Hopefully you can see them just there. So I've got them down the screen there. What I'm going to do kind of a standard, which is this view now, and I'll flick it to vivid just to show that difference, just so you can see the pop-up difference it might make. I've not actually tried this yet, so I will be trying this now, just on this page, just to kind of give you an idea, and I'll kind of give you my opinion on how that looks as well. Okay, that vivid setting for me makes no difference. I couldn't really see a difference. Whether I'm missing the point of that setting, I'm not sure, but on the highlighter there anyway, I couldn't see a difference. So I'll keep trying with that and maybe cover that on my longer term review. Just something else I've spotted as well is the kind of AI button on this now. I can't remember if this was on the original Kindle Scribe or whether I'm missing an upgrade on that, for example. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show this now on the page as well. I'll do it as a close-up shot just to show you, and I'll come back again and just summarise that as well. But yeah, in terms of that vivid setting, not so sure, but let's try out the AI function to summarise the text. Okay, you've probably seen from the footage there, the AI stuff is more for you've got more notes on the same page, summarising the notes, pulling them together a little bit cleaner. Obviously that one sentence I did is no real good. Again, not in this video, but I will cover in a future one in terms of maybe the actual setting, using that setting, how it actually works a little bit better when I've got some more notes actually on the page. The last thing I want to cover just before the end of this video is the different connections. So historically, the Kindle Scribe, you couldn't connect to any like Google Drive, OneNote, OneDrive, for example. The capability wasn't there. Now this is built in now with 3 different connection types. You've got Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, and also Microsoft OneNote. So from a OneDrive and OneNote perspective for my work, I won't be able to connect these in due to conditional access rules that we have for the organization, so that kind of rules it out for now. There is a Google Drive setting, so I will try and connect up to my personal Google Drive, just so I can synchronize notes to that. To be fair, what I do like about the Kindle Scribe is it is just a notebook. I use it as a notebook where I take notes, I refer back to the notes and just kind of use it as an ongoing basis. I've never really had the need to connect it into other services, such as devices like the Remarkable, for example. You can do that. I know you can do that with the Remarkable, but for me, it was never about connecting to other services. If I want to do that, I could probably use a tablet, for example, and you're directly within those services anyway. So I'll do a quick short video just to show the connection into Google Drive, just to show the process of that. For me, I probably won't use it that much anyway, but I'll show it part of the video just so you can see what the experience is like directly on the device. So there we go, covered off the Google Drive connection there. As it mentioned on the screen, once you start uploading things, there's a Kindle Scribe folder created on your Google Drive within your Google Drive files. Obviously then that will be uploaded to there. There's a couple of different options on there. As I mentioned, for me, I probably won't use it. I maybe start using it for like backup purposes potentially. But anyway, at the moment, my notes aren't critical or anything. They're more for just keeping up with things, taking notes during meetings, which is really, really good for this Kindle Scribe. And as I mentioned, having the colour elements to that now are really, really good. So in terms of reading on the Kindle Scribe, obviously for Kindles overall, the main purpose of them is for reading on. As you saw, we've got the books, the actual book front covers. There's colour in there now. If there are colour within the book as well, that will show. There are probably some compatibility things going on there, but generally within the books, if there's colour, it will show them in the best it can on the Kindle Scribe. As I mentioned a few times, that saturation, that real pop of colour isn't there, but the actual colour is there. You can tell what colour's what. It's just not really popping, really bright, which you'd expect from an E-Ink display. So overall, the colour-wise, really good, quite impressive. I'm more impressed than I thought I would be, to be honest with you. I've read other reviews and kind of other comments about it being a little bit flat, a little bit washed out, but the colour is definitely there. Makes a huge difference, as I mentioned a few times now. Apologies around highlighting, circling text, really, really good. It's exactly what I wanted it for and why I was waiting for the Kindle Scribe Colorsoft. Okay, I think we're all done now in this first video of the Kindle Colorsoft here in the UK at last. Been waiting quite a while for it now, as I mentioned a couple of times. There was a November release for the US. We've just got this now, what we're in now, April. So April time in the UK, a few months we've had to wait. But it's been worth the wait so far. As I mentioned, I've only used it for a couple of days, a few hours. I will be using this day in, day out from a work perspective. And because of the actual new features, new connectivity, it may drive me towards using it more for my actual personal purposes for note-taking, etc. I don't tend to do too much, but it might drive me more towards it to get the most use out of this. And obviously that secondary reason I've got the Kindle is for reading. So I do reading. It tends to be more traveling a little bit more when I go on holiday, but I do use it for reading. And again, this may drive me into reading a little bit more. It could be quite good for magazines. You can get magazines on Kindle, and that kind of change, adding colour into magazines, may introduce more people into using magazine reading on the Kindle. But I don't know. Personally, I probably won't, if I'm totally honest, but books certainly will be. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed the video, or it's at least been informative. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If not for any reason, give it a thumbs down, give it a dislike. But let me know in the comment section why. Any questions about the device, any questions about my other device, anything I've missed out of the video, anything you want to ask about the features, etc., please drop that in the comment section. I will reply to all questions and comments. In the follow-up video, if there's anything you want me to cover off specifically, again, add that into the comment section. I will pick up those ideas from the comments and add that into my next review video. And if you want to follow the Huson DIY channel for more product reviews, tech reviews, DIY projects, and much, much more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.